See? Cannot see if we're seeing here. But the question here is the city of Toronto run by liars? An individual named Troy Ford and about 5 city workers have been harassing me for weeks in reference to a few campaign signs and a Canadian flag out front of where I live at 81 Charles Street East. Now, in turn, Troy tried to convince me that this portion of the property from here, because the concrete changed color, over to this fence is city property. So this park I had maintained until they put up the fence and they closed off the fence. But it's being used by dog owners. But eventually this park got to such a messy state to where the garbage can was overflowing with dog poo. I had to file the complaints with the city of Toronto to get the dog poo clean. And in turn, when Troy Ford came to get my campaign sign that says I'm running for mayor, I made a deal with them that I would remove the campaign sign if they clean the park. But Troy Ford tried to convince me that even though all this fence here, that this is not hydro property. He tries to convince me that he had authorization to bully me because from here over to here is the city of Toronto's property. When I questioned it and I came over to the sign here that shows Hydro 1. So you have the big Hydro thing and you've got the wall that shows Hydro 1. But Troy Ford, because I would put up a tent to combat homelessness, figure I was still homeless. So he went on and I believe attempt to bully me because I do not believe that this is city park property. If it was city park property, I believe this fence would have gone around it. And I do not see the logic for the city of Toronto to lease this area here from Hydro, as Troy Ford convinced me that this area was leased by the city of Toronto from Hydro, by the city of Toronto with taxpayers' dollars. So are you saying that the city of Toronto leased property from Hydro so Hydro can use the property that they lease from them for their trucks? We would like Mr. Ford to explain. We would like the city of Toronto to explain. Why would you lease this portion of the sidewalk here? Why would you lease this driveway from Hydro and pay taxpayers' money to Hydro? And in turn, Hydro uses the same property that you lease from them with taxpayers' dollars? Well, that's what Mr. Ford from Parks and Recs